Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV, just north of Denver, Colorado, right off of Interstate 25. You can't miss us. We've got a ton of inventory on the trailers on the lot. But one thing you hear us talking a lot about is customization, especially through Cimarron. So behind me today is a fully custom 2-horse bumper pull by Cimarron, one of their Norstars. This is a straight load, side ramp, what we would call a Warmblood size trailer. We are 7'7" tall, 6'10" wide. So you got a lot of space inside of this one. A lot of similarities to some trailers that we have in inventory. A lot of add-ons that we're gonna talk about that we could do here at the shop for you if you wanted to. But a couple of things that we did through Cimarron that are just a whole lot easier to do them from the factory. Do it how you wanna have it done. Start from scratch and save you a little bit of change if you are doing a retrofit to a trailer that's already built. So let's talk about a couple things. In fact, I'm gonna close up this tack room door for just a second. Two things up front you'll notice right away that are add-ons on this trailer is an electric jack. So we talk about goosenecks and electric over hydraulic jacks. Don't need all that power with a smaller bumper pull, so electric jack will do. Really nice system on these. Get a little light up here too, help you hook things up, and then as simple as an up-down switch. Really is as simple as that. And just like our goosenecks, if you ever do have any kind of issue, you pull this cap out of the top and there's a little attachment, you can put a hand crank in there, and that's your fail-safe. You can get it on or off the trailer that way. So just a couple basics. 2 5/16 inch coupler, big heavy duty safety chains. Make sure you cross your chains. Make sure you twist your chains to get that slack out of them too, so that they're not dragging on the ground. And then it's kind of the small things. So 2 small things just on the side of the trailer here that Cimarron does that help us out a lot. Coil up this breakaway cable so we don't have that slack all hanging on the ground and rubbing away over the years. And then secondarily too, a nice little holder for our 7-pin. I like this, especially with the bumper pulls. We end up throwing these on the ground. They get wet, they get muddy, they get stuck in the frozen mud and ice or snow or something like that. So really nice way to stow that away as well. Another add-on to this trailer, we're starting to do it a lot more of our inventory trailers now too, but still something that you can add if you're building from scratch, is a lot taller diamond plate here. So really nice protection of this nose. We've got a lot of gravel and dirt roads out here in Colorado. I know our customer where they are also has a lot of dirt and gravel roads. So want to be able to protect that nose and keep it looking good, especially because they chose that silver color. Stand out a little bit more if you did have any kind of rock chips or anything like that. So open our tack room door back up now. Before I opened it, I did fail to mention, but we do have a fold-out step down here. Cimarron does an awesome job with this step. There is no hardware to open or close it. It's on the gas shock. Nothing to get gunked up with gravel or dirt or anything like that and get seized or get tight and get hard to handle. So really nice to have that step into there. And then nice sized door here, a couple of different things we've got going on. First and foremost, you'll notice it's fully carpeted. So we've done some bridle hooks here just below the window, and then below those hooks, like we do everywhere else in a lot of tack rooms now, is carpet that wall behind anywhere that we have hanging storage. So really nice to protect that paint, keeps things riding a little bit smoother and keeps things looking a whole lot nicer. We've all seen those used trailers or own those trailers next to our barn right now that have some marks from our headgear, shanks, whatever it is, kind of bouncing off the walls there. So we'll talk about the hose in a second. This is that hand crank that we talked about for our jack, but really nice little storage spot here is a brush tray for us. Couple little dividers in there and couple little drain holes in there as well. So if we do have a spill, certainly the first time I ever put fly spray or a can of hoof paint in there, I'm sure it would spill. So nice to be able to clean that out and have that access. So just quick, easy access to stuff you're looking for as soon as you get to a show or back home. So couple add-ons, one that goes straight away with the electric jack, sorry, so used to the goosenecks. With the electric jack, we do that addition of the 12-volt battery, so you get a lot of bonus out of that. First and foremost, no trickery. We have all of our LED load and tack room lights on and our load space lights on as well. And we're able to do that with that 12 volt deep cycle battery. So 12 volts hidden inside of here. We have our red arc controller, which is standard anytime you switch a Cimarron over to a 12 volt onboard battery. It's a really nice way to control our battery health, whether we've got a low battery and we need to send a lot of charge to it, or we're pretty full and we don't need to send a lot of charge to it. And then anytime you get battery service on these trailers, we do that disconnect too. So really easy to leave a switch on somewhere. We've got a couple different spots where we can turn lights on and off. So nice to be able to have that ability to turn that off and know that you're not going to have a dead battery when you come back to it. So one thing that's not an add-on is a full-size matching spare wheel and tire. Aluminum wheels look really, really nice going down the road. Nice to be able to have a matching spare if you do have a flat on your way to a show or something like that. Or you can always throw it into your tire rotation routine. Really nice to be able to buy a little bit more life out of, you got 5 tires on the trailer, why not use all 5 of them? So window just above that, we saw 2 in the tack room door. You've got a window there as well. So people kind of ask, we'll talk about it too, in the wall behind me, the partition wall. Why is there a window in there? Well, we can get a nice cross ventilation going through here if you're heading down the road. Nice to be able to do that and dry out some saddle pads, dry out some of your tack. Obviously summertime, you got some wet, sweaty stuff coming back in here that's coming off of your horses. So talking about saddle racks and saddle pads, we've got a couple pole holders up here. We've got a couple racks down here. These are parts we carry in our parts department here at Transwest. So if you're walking around on the lot and you see a trailer you love, you say, but I really love to add a 3rd rack, or I have a 3rd saddle, I need a place to store it. We can add these very easily. And then again too, for you guys to customize them once you get home. If you're never going to use these poles, real easy, loosen a couple bolts and you can slide them right up out of that track and take them off. And then like I said too, everything is real easy to slide around and put it where you want. So if you want to pull the poles out of there, loosen a couple of these saddle racks and move a few a bit higher, you have that ability to really kind of, like I said, put stuff where you want it. So one more thing to kind of keep the theme, there's no hanging storage anywhere on this partition wall, but it is fully carpeted, really nice look to it, and it does act as a great sound deadener as well. And then strapped to that wall is a 48-gallon half moon tank. So a lot of capacity with this. We have a fill valve, or just a cap here at the top where you fill it with your garden hose from the barn. And then you've got a couple different options down below. You can very easily fit a 5-gallon bucket from the barn right underneath that secondary valve. And then we also, that hose that we saw in the brush tray over there on the door, we can hook that up and run this outside. And you have a lot of options what you're gonna fill and use that for. And then we didn't talk about it, but the floor that I am standing on is an added extra. We're doing it a lot, again, of our inventory trailers, but it's really taking off in popularity, is we're no longer the rubber mat that you can pull in and out like we're used to seeing in our horse space. Instead, we're a permanently sealed down diamond plate kind of design to it. Got that texture, but it is a rubberized flooring. We're seeing it in a lot of high traffic areas, supermarkets, amusement parks, those kinds of places. So really cool material. And then again too, it's caulked all the way around the edges too, so sealed down for good. Don't have to worry about, like we did in the past, our rubber mats accumulating dust and dirt and all that kind of stuff underneath. So really nice to have that option. And then OptiBrights inside, and then we've got control of them outside as well, just above us. And all LEDs too, so really low power draw. We are pulling off with our onboard battery right now with no way of recharging it at the moment. But again, LEDs, really low power draw, so can run these for quite a while. We'll close this back up, and as we go along, we'll kind of give you a good look of it as we get it all closed up. But certainly the most popular aspect of this trailer, and I think what's making it more and more popular going down the road, if you're just not ready to make that jump up into a gooseneck, is this side ramp. So a lot of versatility with the side ramp. The one thing that the side ramp does do for you in these straight load configurations is buys you a few more feet of space in your overall floor length back here. So really nice to have that. And then a lot of customers come and say, I've got an elderly friend that won't, bad stifle, stiff hawk, something like that, can't back off of these ramps, and really uncomfortable for them. So really easy access to come right off of this side ramp, pull them straight off, and you don't have to back them off the back ramp. And then too, if you're doing a bit of training with some young horses, nice to be able to have that option as well. You can stow this bar right there, and then again step in, and you've got the side ramp with a lot of easy access. And then looking down at our floor, another add-on is the worm flooring. So done at the factory, really, really nice stuff. Worm is an acronym for we eliminate rubber mats. So our suggestion, once a year, pull your mats, depending on usage, unless you're a professional hauler or something like that. Pull those mats, wash underneath it. It's a big to-do. We always end up usually doing it at the end of summer after show season, and that's usually our last memory of trailering for the season. So Worm is a non-porous rubberized pour-in flooring. It's a permanent seal. It complements Cimarron's all aluminum flooring really, really well because, again, like I said, non-porous. None of those things that even will corrode urine, especially will corrode aluminum, are going to get down to that flooring, and helps protect that quite a bit. So we'll get into a lot more aspects of our partition and that kind of stuff when we get around to the back of it. I definitely want to talk about the sliding aspect of this and the versatility that gives you with this trailer. But we're going to step back outside for a second. I'll close up the side ramp, and I'll close up the big window overhead as well. All of these doors over our ramps are designed with the big heavy duty paddle latch so that they can be run wide open. So if you've got one horse on the trailer and they're over there on driver's side and it's a nice hot day, you could certainly leave that guy open and have a ton of airflow through that side of the trailer at least. And then all of those paddle latches are keyed as like, so you'll get a set of keys with the trailer, a master set for the whole trailer, and then everything is lockable from the tack room to these paddle latches here to your rear ramp as well. So if you want to store a little bit of stuff in it while you're at a show and you've got it parked in trailer parking far away from your eye, nice to be able to lock it up and know that things are secure. So like we said, we are on aluminum wheels and tires. Talk about running gear just a little bit. 16-inch wheels with Goodyear tires. So I think the name speaks for itself, really putting some quality running gear on this. And then we are on Dexter torsion axles with electric drum brakes. So obviously this bumper pull trailer, there's a lot of vehicles on the road today that can pull this, from your larger SUVs to your half-ton pickups, etc., etc. So always make sure, especially if you're new into the game of pulling, make sure that you've got a trailer brake controller. Again, a lot of vehicles on the road now are equipped with them from the factory. If they're not, we can add some aftermarket ones for you here at Transwest, but you gotta have a way to control these brakes. They're an electric brake, and so there is a 1 through 10 value on your controller, and you want to be able to make sure that you have adjustment over these. You can double the weight of this trailer from empty to loaded. So again, that's a fluid setting that you certainly want to keep an eye on. So big oversized bus window over the hip side of both of our horses on driver and passenger side, hiding it with that Dutch door window a little bit. But then we've got a couple tie rings here as well. If we're doing a bit of tacking up, if we're showing off of our trailer, really nice to tie up right here next to our tack room. And we've got a lot of room over here to do what we need to do. And then we've got mirror image on driver's side too. So if you have parking doesn't allow, certainly you can go that route too. So we'll work our way around to the back. Again, like we said, rear ramp, double Dutch doors over the rear ramp. We'll close them up when we get done inside. But nice to be able to open this guy up wide open and see a couple of different things that we got going on here. First and foremost, we talked about worm flooring. We talked about the straight load 7.7. So there's a lot of room in here. But what this divider does, or this partition does for us, is first and foremost, it's a solid partition front to back. So really nice to kind of have that stud divider aspect to it. And then with the airflow jail bars up top, you're still gonna move a lot of air through the trailer. But you've got the option with this trailer, and it is fully set up right now. All my button chest bars are up. I didn't set anything up to make this a little bit faster, but if we decide we wanna haul this thing as a box stall for some reason, for instance, I came from the breeding world, more often than not, I would be hauling a mare and foal together, so I would want to haul in a box. And then maybe I was going to go pick up a couple geldings, and I had to make the decision, what do I do with this whole partition? Do I get one of my friends, one of my workers to help me pull this out and convince them to awkwardly handle it? And then I made that decision right then that I only have a box stall. So if I have 2 horses I want to go pick up somewhere later down the road, I really don't have that option. So 1 pin up here at the head, a couple pins here, and the ones straight from the factory are a little stiff, I'll be honest. So that's going to move on me because unfortunately we're leaning that way. Do that, and we're on a barn door slider right up top. We don't have to drop our chest bars off of this side over here. Pin our couple pins in place. Like I said, they are stiff when they're brand new, but it's a plastic on metal connection down there, and so they'll wear a little space into them, and they'll fit really, really well over the years. One thing that you will notice too throughout the Cimarron, on the chest bars, anywhere that we have pins in the floor or the ceiling, for instance, where we're pinning and unpinning this divider, is a plastic on metal connection. So keeps these trailers riding really quiet, buys a lot more longevity out of it too. We've all seen the metal dividers or the metal on metal connections that really bouncing down the road wear themselves out. So back to the traveling divider. You have the option straight away. You can stow it in this position on driver's side. Like I said, I came from the breeding industry, so really nice to be able to haul a mare and foal in here together. If you're doing a long haul in a single gelding or mare or something like that, you have that ability too, just to give them an open box, give them a little bit more options. You can certainly very easily pull these chest bars and butt bars off of this wall, stow those guys up front out of the way so that nobody decides to chew on them or anything like that. But again, the options are endless. We talk a lot, I do at least, about these trailers being able to multi-purpose too. If you're wanting to run a quad out to the trails and do a little trail riding, father-son trip out in the mountains or something like that. If you've got a mower you need to run in for service at the end of the season or something like that, especially with these ramped trailers. This gives you that open space too, that ability to certainly use them, utilize them for more than just one use on your farm. Looking around inside, we'll talk a couple of standard Cimarron options. First and foremost, way up high is our roof, standard across the board on Cimarrons, from their smaller stock boxes to the biggest LQs they have on the lot, is their insulated roof panel. First and foremost, has a bit of a structural factor to it. Don't have to look for those cross members to walk around on it. Holds up really well in hailstorms as well. Ask us how we know. But secondarily too, really nice insulation factor too. I guess primarily insulation factor. Has an R3 factor, so we see a big temperature difference inside of these trailers, especially in the heat of summer when the sun's baking down versus those aluminum paneled roofs. And then second to that too, you'll notice in the roof above the head of each of our horses too is a two-way roof vent. So summertime we can certainly open those up, scoop a lot of air in right over the heads of our horses. And then wintertime too, nice to be able to open those backwards. You get a couple horses in a small box like this. If you close up all your windows and only had a few bus windows open, you could build a lot of condensation and moisture in these trailers. So nice to be able to kind of move some fresh air throughout the trailer. And then again too, couple of standard Cimarron features is Opti Brights on both sides. So we've got one over the head of each horse. Inside these trailers, you can light up the night. So horses can see what you're doing, you can see what you're doing. If you wanted to come in here and camp out and read a book for the night, you could do that too. It'd be really easy. And then a couple tie rings above the head of each horse's. And then we even have one in the partition as well. So if you do have this set back over as a straight load, a 2-horse straight load, you have that option. And then we'll talk a little bit about drop windows and escape door on driver's side, but big padding there on our partition, and then high kick mats throughout the trailer as well. So we're gonna leave this partition over. Like I said, you can run down the road like that all day long in either configuration. Close our ramp up here in the back. Again, like I said, all our paddle latches are key to like, so we can lock these things up pretty tight. and know that things are gonna stay secure. And then on these double Dutch doors too, you'll notice a big weather strip around there too. So you can keep these things pretty close to weather tight. They're never perfect, but close. Close this guy up, and then you get a good look at the back of this trailer. I like the silver color quite a bit. And a couple of things back here. First and foremost, I really like that Cimarron does a set of 4 tail lights around the back of these trailers. All LEDs, just like our load lights and our Opti Brights. All our marker lights are gonna be LEDs as well. And then within all 4 of our tail lights now too, standard in the 25 model year, we're starting to see 26s, so we're in our 2nd year of that, but is a reverse light in all 4 of those. So sheds a lot of light back here if you're at night, parking in the same spot every night, or you're at a show and you're somewhere you haven't been before. Nice to be able to do that. No change to our 7-pin, same little function there. And then you'll see at the very top there, first and foremost, couple load lights. So nice to be able to light up both sides, especially if you're loading 2. And then one added option that our customer decided to add too is that rear spoiler. So we talked about the diamond plate in front to protect that nose on these gravel roads. This is gonna help us a lot on those gravel roads too. We've all seen the box trucks or our own trailers if we live on a dirt road, that the back of it is completely covered with dust and dirt and grime. So this pushes a lot of air straight down on the back of the trailer and eliminates a lot of that. So, and then again, we were talking about those load lights up there. Down here on this panel, corner post is our control for all our load lights on both sides, over the rear ramp, and then also inside our stock compartment of the trailer. So nice to have control of that. And then our drop window is already down, so we'll close it up for a second. Give you a look over here. Just like I said, on passenger side, we've got mirror image, a couple tie rings over here. We've all shown up to a show and parking doesn't allow, so you need to tack up over here. Unfortunately, you got to do the walk around to get to your tack room, but you've got some tie ring options over here. Maybe you've got a couple that don't get along too and you need to tie one over here. You've got those options. And then escape door driver's side. So you'll see a lot of our 2-horse straight loads without that side ramp. We'll have mirror image escape door on either side of the trailer. With the ramp, we buy ourselves a little more floor length, but we still keep the escape door over here. And it's a really nice access point if we're traveling down the road, if we want to offer a little bit of water, hay, check on things, or if we're getting ready to load or unload. Easy access point. Again, you don't have to open up a big ramp. Make sure you can check on things and that everybody's comfortable and happy. Maybe get some lead shanks hooked on or something like that before you start dropping ramps. And then anywhere we share load space with horses, we double latch those as well. And then our drop window. So a couple different features with this. First and foremost, bus window in the window itself. So winter time, if we've got some colder weather, we don't have to drop this all the way down. They have access to a little bit of air, and then drop it all the way down. You've got a ton of airflow through there. And then the best part I like about these Cimarrons is there's no actual mechanism, there's no latch or anything to hold these jail bars up. So if you are just poking in there real quick, or you want to get some quick, easy access to them, you can drop this down, and it's as simple as pulling it in and out of that track, and then right back in, and you're good to go. And like I said, really nice option in these trailers. So a lot of standard features on this trailer, a couple little add-ons that make it fully custom, a couple add-ons that certainly made a lot more sense to do at the factory than to do everything here at Transwest. If there's one or two that you'd like to add on, it's more beneficial that way. Certainly we can help you in that direction. But again, ordering straight from the factory is gonna help you out in those cases, absolutely. So a couple little add-ons that set this one apart. I really like this trailer. Hopefully our customer is gonna be happy with it too. One quick thing to note is that we are also gonna do a camera install in this trailer. So we'll do a 2-camera system for him. This trailer is going to go straight from this video into his bay, and he'll start working on that for us. That is one thing, even if you are ordering straight from Cimarron through us, we like to bring the trailers here and do our own install of the cameras. We have a nice monitor system that we'll set up for you for the cab of your tow vehicle. So if you have any questions about this trailer, if you want to clone this trailer, that's a very easy thing for us to do. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. You can call or text me. My cell phone is 859 509-1282. And then if you do, again, like I said, want to clone this trailer, if you want to replicate it, you can reference it on our website via its stock number. We'll have a few pictures of it. We can send you some drawings or the like. Reference it via that stock number. It's 5N250429. Again, like I said, this is a sold unit, but wanted to just show you kind of some add-ons we could do for it. So thanks again for your time. También hablo español.